I get it. It's been a very up and down season for the Baltimore Ravens, but I think we can all agree today's been a pretty awesome day to be a Ravens fan because the good news keeps rolling in. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean by that in just a couple of seconds. The big part of today, as we know, when you beat the Jets, you took over first place in the AFC North, right above the Steelers. Unfortunately, if you look at our season-long sub-battle against Steelers Talk, they are still in the lead over us by 17 subscribers. Now, that's not a crazy lead. They've had bigger, they've had smaller, but it's a lead that I want to be there no longer after today. If you have not joined us yet, hit that subscribe button. Help us be on top of Steelers Talk just like we are in real life. Let's start off with probably the best news coming out of today's game is that Kyle Hamilton seems to be A-okay. If you were watching today, he went down with not just one but two injuries, one to his shoulder after he got pretty much, let's call a spade, trucked by Breece Hall. And then the second one had to do with an ankle injury trying to be a part of a tackle. Unfortunately, he just rolled up on his right ankle. Sarah Ellison tweeting out during John Harbaugh's post-game press conference that he said Kyle Hamilton did not suffer a serious injury. And this is so big because Kyle Hamilton is this team's defense. And I don't think that's that crazy in me saying that. Every single game, you're calling his name, you're watching him make plays time after time after time. This team, I would argue, lives and breathes by Kyle Hamilton. This defense, the reason you were able to see the turnaround that they've put on over the last couple of weeks is because Kyle Hamilton has just kind of been allowed to go wherever he wants to on the football field. He can play a linebacker. He can play defensive line. He can play defensive tackle. He can play in the slot. He can play safety, free and strong. He can play as an outside corner. He can play everywhere. So you going up on Thursday Night Football against the Cincinnati Bengals, most likely, let's not confirm yet, having Kyle Hamilton is going to be the best thing for your team and for your defense. Do you want Hamilton to be healthy for Thursday Night Football? Show him some love. Spam those 14s down below in that comment section. Show him how you feel. Show him you need him, and give me those 14s. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. A little bit more good news that rolled in from today's post-game is he kind of calmed the injury waters. Look, I get it. It's been an interesting couple of games for Lamar Jackson. We discussed it in today's post-game instant reaction. Back-to-back weeks of fine play. Back-to-back weeks of 0 touchdowns scored, which I'm not going to say this is 100% fact, but I would be shocked if that's not the first time that's ever happened in his career. And automatically, everybody, myself included, is just thinking, you know what? He's not close to 100%. So obviously, he got asked a couple of injury questions in his post-game press conference, and he calmed some things down for us Ravens fans. The first question he got asked was, did his taped ankle bother him today? Obviously, he was dealing with an ankle injury from earlier this week. He said, no, it was solid for the most part. It was pretty solid. And then he got asked the question we all have been waiting for since this game has ended. Is his injury holding him back at all? He said, no. I don't think that way at all. I just feel like we need to execute better. Now, I'm going to go out here and say, I think he's definitely not telling the whole truth. Like, if you believe that for 100% what it's worth, then I've got some awesome oceanfront property in Nebraska that I could sell you. But also, like, I don't think he's lying when he says this team just needs to execute better. Because they do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This team wasn't able to run the football. That's not because of Lamar Jackson's ankle. That's because of this offensive line. They're allowing way too much pressure. That's not because of Lamar Jackson's ankle or knee. That's because of this offensive line. They're not executing on third down. I can promise you, it's not because of that ankle injury. They're still not being great in the red zone. I can promise you, right? Fill in the blank for me. It's not because of the ankle injury. So while I do feel he calmed the waters, and I do feel like it's good news for Ravens fans that he says, you know what, we just need to execute better. It's not my ankle, it's not my knee, it's not my hamstring. It's this team as a whole. I totally agree. Now, do I think he's 100% healthy? No, I don't. Do I think he'll ever get there this season? Frankly, probably not. It's the National Football League. So I hope he does, but I'm not ridiculous in thinking that he will at some point. Fill in the blank for me. Lamar Jackson is blank % healthy. You let me know down below in that comment section. I would probably say 67%. Gage, what would you say? Gage going to say around 70. Y'all let me know your thoughts in that comment section. We got to talk about PrizePicks. They're the awesome sponsor of today's show. Football season, look, it's in full swing, and the hard-hitting action is even better with our friends over at PrizePicks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. PrizePicks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Lamar Jackson's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on PrizePicks. Follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in just one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on PrizePicks. Here's my PrizePicks lineup from today's game against the New York Jets. It is the perfect example of why you should flex play, okay? PrizePicks invented the flex play because the more on Derrick Henry rush yards did not hit, but the Lamar Jackson and Tyrod Taylor ones did. So if you flex played it, you still would win money. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. The other good news from today is that the Cincinnati Bengals just get further and further and further down the division, right? They lose today to the New England Patriots, 26-20. Was that final score a game where they jumped out to a very, very early lead? And now with that loss, they fall to 3-8. The Cincinnati Bengals, at the current recording of this video, they are 2-8. Now, they are playing Las Vegas Raiders. I think they'll go to 3-8. Regardless, Cincinnati's at 3 wins. They now are 3 games back from you for first place in the division. And sure, there's games left to be played. You got 6 left on your schedule. Man, they have put themselves in a hole. Now, I get it. They could play spoiler to you in 4 days. I get that. Joe Burrow's coming back. There's a lot left to play for. However, these losses are not helping their case, okay? I mean, if you look at the AFC playoff picture, you finally see yourself in that number 4 spot. You finally see yourself in a playoff picture spot with a seed. And you got to go all the way down to like the second row of the others to find the Cincinnati Bengals. You still play them twice. You've got the opportunity to end their season on Thursday, practically. That would put them with 5 games left to play, 4 games back from you, and that would not be very good at all for the Cincinnati Bengals. Who do you think wins the AFC North? Let me know down below in the comment section. I think it's going to be Baltimore. I've thought it was going to be Baltimore. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say I thought it was going to be Baltimore for the entirety of this season because my, hope wavered for a second. But over these last 3 weeks, 4 weeks even, I've been pretty sure Baltimore's going to win this thing. You let me know down below. And I think the last bit of good news from today is, look, the mindset has not changed. And I think that's important going forward because you've won 5 straight games, but you don't want to get ahead of yourself. And coming from the head honcho, the head coach himself, he says, feels great, right? But the season is not over. And that's the exact mindset that I need the rest of this team to have. Sure, it's awesome. You started this season 1-5. You now are 6-5, and you're at the top in the AFC North. That is great. I would way rather be there than anywhere else. But, like Kobe said, job's not finished. This video's finished, though. Make sure you have me followed on social media. At Joey Peterson8 on Instagram and on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We give you daily coverage right here at the Baltimore Ravens Rundown. Best place to be if you're a Ravens fan, so lock us in and subscribe.